The changing landscape of the housing market in Las Vegas requires a real estate professional that understands how to get your offer accepted, willing to go above and beyond for service and accountability. Hi, my name is Dan French. I've been in the real estate and financing industry for over 13 years. Most real estate agents struggle with answering their phone. Please call me directly, 702-557-6176. I'm available for all your real estate needs.
Do that anyway.
I don't understand what they do. I can't hear it in my mind.
Dan's a fantastic man. He really is.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
What is going on out there, you guys? It's a beautiful Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Yeah, you can. What's going on, Esmeralda?
Your mic, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me. That's okay. So you guys, you know this is. I can hear you. This is the most real behind-the-scenes information on financing, real estate, money talk, entrepreneurs happening here in Las Vegas. I'm your host, Dan French. I was getting signals here. I'm like, dude, is somebody like landing a plane?
No, I was steal second and take third. And,
yeah, I was like,
home.
what's this with one of these and then one of those? And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but you know, if I should have taken sign language, right? Because I would probably figured that part of it out.
Right.
So you guys know this is a great channel for your source of information on real estate here. Also, really everything. We really talk about a lot of different topics now here on this show, which I'm actually happy about. Because I love real estate and I love talking housing, but sometimes it just gets nauseum, right? Like you get nauseated from this whole situation, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I heard the crash is coming and all that. That's what people want,
I heard
man.
we were in a recession.
Yeah, recession.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I heard that.
You guys know who this is. This Mr. Duggernaut over here. Doug
hello.
Liebig. What's up, buddy?
Good
How are
evening.
you?
How you doing?
Good, man. What have you been up to?
Doing home inspections.
Home inspections.
Yeah. You believe that?
Wow, I'll tell you what, man. I would have never thought that you would be doing home inspections as a home inspector.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You guys also, we have the beautiful Esmeralda Licea. She's back. Old Republic title. She's the new Republic.
No, we're the new Republic title.
It's like on Star Wars. You got the old Republic, now you got the new Republic, right?
And you got the
That's
wheelchair
right.
Republic, right?
How's everybody? Good evening.
What have you been up to, Esmeralda?
Oh my God, I've had so many Christmas parties. I feel like a little stuffed turkey right now.
I'm surprised you made it in because I know you're probably, cough medicine, you know what I mean?
A
Little bit too much?
A little too much.
Are you a lightwait?
I am.
You are a lightweight.
Seriously.
So how many drinks does it take before you're like,
She
I gotta
tells
get
you
cut?
that, and then she goes and drinks you under the table.
Right?
It takes me one drink and I have a bottle here. Like,
And we also have our special guest here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guys here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Chris's last name, but I'm going to say Phil McGill.
Let's go. That's me.
That's Mr. Phil right here. Phil, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm amazing, dude. I'm alive.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. So Phil's a solar expert.
That's me.
Along with Mr. Chris. Chris, how do you say your last name, man?
That's Suasaeng.
Suasaeng. That wasn't as bad as I thought.
No, not
I was like thinking, man, this is
Now
like
repeat it.
dude, I'll be like laughed at forever. It's like, dude, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I got my
What
mom's
were you
last name.
thinking? Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's
So
different.
what's your Thai?
Yeah.
Dude, we just
Nice.
had somebody on that was Thai.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Okay.
Last Thursday, a couple Thursdays ago. So anyways, you're a solar expert too. And we want to say thank you guys for coming on to the show.
Awesome.
If you guys out there have any questions about solar,
Please ask
we're
them
not
today.
we're not gonna make this a boring solar
Definitely not.
experience. This is gonna be one of those ones where you're just like, wow, I want to do solar. I heard it's a very lucrative business. I hear you make tons of money. You guys are all driving Porsches and hanging out at the strip. I mean, is that what's going on over here?
I'm in the wrong place.
Audis and Lamborghinis. Actually.
That's what I thought,
They
man.
just lowballed us a little bit.
Dude, you guys are rolling with Rolexes, right?
Yeah.
Is that's your thing? When you get in, you get a Rolex watch, you get started, right?
Yeah.
But is it lucrative? I mean, is it a good business to go into?
You know what? It really depends on who you're doing business with, and then who you're working for, right? But solar's an amazing industry. Wouldn't change it.
How about you, Chris? I mean, what do you like about solar, man? Why did you get into this industry? Because I've heard you can make six figures in this business easily. Seven figures.
Easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in the wrong industry, man.
Damn.
Cut. I'm leaving.
Let's start over.
I'm out of here. Somebody else take over this show. I got to go into solar.
Yeah.
Doug?
Okay, let's go.
That's
So
me.
so seven figures, huh?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I did six
how
my
long
first year.
How long does that take to get there?
Well, I made close to, not to throw numbers out, but close to 400 grand doing 6 months of solar my first year of solar.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So what is the hard thing? Because a lot of people go into it thinking you have to sell. I'm gonna be honest, man. I get a lot of those robocalls, and it's like, yeah, have you had your house on solar? I'm like, dude,
you're gonna
click.
get, until you go solar, you're gonna get a bunch of those.
Yeah.
calls.
So like, my thing is
Go
like,
solar.
right? So when does somebody, like, are you on the front lines like that? Or are you like the second line of command? Like, you come in and you take over the call. Like, how does that work?
Oh no, I actually run the company. I'm the vice president.
You run
of
the company.
yeah.
What's your company's name?
So we have, IBakin Solar. So what we do is we're like the broker for solar in Las Vegas. Well, almost every market. So we have 9 companies locally that we do solar with. So we have the top installers, the fastest installers, the best deals, the best panels, the best equipment in the Vegas market. So instead of getting one quote, I got 9 for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of people think there's like a big savings when you go solar. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about it, but I do have solar.
Okay.
And I have solar in my house, and I'm going to be upfront with you. I don't really see that much of a change in the cost of the house as far as the bill goes. Like, NV Energy still wants their hand in my pocket, right? So
I can give an answer. So what happens is not everybody's a good solar guy, right? So maybe you don't have enough panels, right? Maybe you have used more electricity than the panels that you already have on the household. So now you're going over what the system's supposed to produce. So you're pulling that little extra, that little piggy bank money to NV Energy, right? So you would need a few more panels, and that would offset the whole home. So then what comes into the savings is what you price it at. So we control the pricing, right? How much money do we want to make?
So you guys control the
honest.
pricing. So
We control the pricing.
what about you, Chris? Like, what's your role in all this?
So I'm a licensed real estate agent.
Okay, I thought you were going to say I'm a hitman.
No,
If you don't do solar,
Suasaeng.
I'm
Come on,
going to
he's
your
so-
house.
He goes out and takes out the
I'm going to
knees.
take you out.
right? And yeah, the quiet hitman. So
He's like, they're on to me.
You see the smile, you never know.
Damn,
How did you
figured
find
me out
me
so
out?
quick?
Suasaeng's Russian, not Thai, right?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So going through real estate, what I noticed, even just because I like to be an educator in anything that I do, and looking at agent to agent remarks when a home has solar on it and it's not paid off, they'll put home has solar, must take over payment, right? And that's because the listing agent is not educated.
Right.
1,000%.
And it's a turnoff too.
Yeah, and it's
A lot of people
almost
wanna
like,
know
well,
the bill.
why do I know? How do I know even want it?
Right.
Right. Instead of writing it to where it makes sense for the potential buyer to come on and take on solar.
So I'm
And-
a real clear
ahead.
understanding
Go
on
ahead.
how to complicate, how to pretty much understand how solar works, right? So you buy a house and I tell you there's solar on there. Do you know what kind of system? Do you know what kind of warranties? What kind of inverter? How long has the system been on the house for, right? What does it produce? And all those things play a part in the value that it adds to the actual home. They don't break that down yet in real estate, and there's no real equation to do that yet.
Yeah.
So they look at this system and that system and they price it the same.
Interesting.
Right, which isn't fair to that homeowner that has a 25-year warranty and that guy got the Chinese panels with no warranty. Right? I would think that system over here would be valued a lot more versus the system over here with no complete warranty at all.
But how would we know that? Like, if you're
1,000%,
home-
which is the problem.
right? Like, how would I know I'm wearing red bottoms and not Pro Wings or something?
Do you have your receipt?
Well,
Do you get receipts for purchases that are above $1,000?
yeah, but if you're buying a home,
There's receipts so we provide something called install agreements that have all the data on there for you guys to know what the system on the house produces, the warranties, transfer information, manufacturer warranties, all that stuff should be transferred on over to the next homeowner. So that stuff should be all documented now. So when you sell a house, this paperwork is really relevant to the next homeowner to know what they're assuming or what they're taking over. And if I don't have that, why would I pay extra for it?
Right.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. What's the 5 misconceptions that people have about solar that you go out in the field? Because look, man, it's an option at this point. Does it help the earth? Absolutely, right? I mean, you have solar energy. I don't see and justify my payment enough if I didn't have it on the house already and you came to me and asked me. I don't know. It would be something I would really have to think about. So what is the 5 misconceptions that you would think that you have to overcome with people that are out there saying solar's just not what it is?
Yeah. First of all, it's not an option. One. because they're mandating it by 2045 that all of Vegas is ran off of renewable energy.
I know, but I might not be alive that long.
2035. I
know, I won't.
You don't look that young, dude. I'm 29. So I got some time left. Right? Speak for yourself, dude.
You just cut out years. Speaking for yourself.
Dude, speak for yourself. You look young, dude. Come on.
I appreciate that, man. I take care of myself.
I say 35, 33 at the end.
You're here every weekend now. Just go ahead and put your name in that spot right there.
He just bought himself a seat, didn't he?
He's done. He's done. He's on the show. He's the guy.
Clock it out.
He's a made man.
So some of the misconceptions is it doesn't save me money, right? Which is a problem first and foremost, right? We have something called bottom lines, just like you guys do in your industry. There's percentages that you guys make on the sale of a home. You wouldn't take 0%, right? But you might go down to 2 or 3%, right? But there's agents that might charge you 8 to 10%, right? So those are margins in between we completely control. So I can price you at a certain point to save you more money, depending on the sales rep. How greedy is the sales rep?
So let me ask you this, but when you say save more money, will that change the quality of the panels that I'm actually going to buy, or that doesn't
absolutely
matter?
not.
Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
So it's just like buying a house. You get 4% or you get 2%.
Yep.
Right?
How much money are you saving within that margin?
All right.
A ton, right? The second thing is that it doesn't make sense for everybody, right? Solar makes sense for everybody because there's every kind of program out there. The problem is a lot of solar companies only have one product to sell. So if you're only looking at 2 products and they have the same exact thing, you think those are the only options that you guys have available. But there's other options, but most people are like, hey, it doesn't make sense. I've seen 2 quotes. I've seen them all, right? And then at that certain point, they close out. Right, that'd be the second one. The third one, which realistically is what happens if the company goes out of business, nobody's going to cover it. So there's actually insurance now that covers the entire system, like a homeowner's insurance if something happens to the home. Same thing for the solar system. It covers the entire system, warranties, maintenance, labor costs, completely no deductible.
What does something like that run?
Years. It's included in our system cost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we literally sell it on every account, and realistically, maybe anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $3,000 to add it in for 25 years complete coverage.
Oh,
which really isn't a big deal, to be honest with you.
yeah.
So, like, you guys have
$20
contracts, I'm assuming, with, like, Tesla. Who's some of the other big companies out there that are producing this?
I would never do business with Tesla.
You would never do business with Tesla?
I would just say they
Dan,
don't
tell them you got a Tesla
hey,
either.
they don't have a solar
I
department.
got to go park my Tesla in
You
there.
do have one?
Yeah, I got one in there.
Okay,
I have
cool.
to go park it somewhere.
Yeah, God forbid something happens to that. But they don't have a solar department through solar. So they sell it, but they have no real customer service to maintenance it.
Right.
So God forbid something happens, now you're waiting 6 months to a year to get it serviced. But not trying to talk bad about Tesla. They're a great company, I guess. But
Well, let's say this. Who's your top 3 companies that you guys would deal with? You could chime in here too, Chris.
if we're going to be honest, I have some companies here, which one being Tefra Solar, amazing company, really quick installs, really good warranties. They do their job correctly, no excuses, no problems, no concerns. And their customer service department is absolutely amazing, right? The second one, which that's a tough one there.
They're not from China, are they?
No, definitely not. We use American made. So our
God,
manufacturers, we use
Nice.
our panels are made in the U.S. right?
Right.
Or Germany is our second.
So
manufacturer that we
U.S.
have.
and Germany have the top-notch solar panels. Is that what it is?
I would say
Yes.
Yeah?
I would
100%.
Yep.
Okay. Now I'm sure China probably produces good ones, but for the cost being cost effective, you're not going to get the top end.
They
there.
last 2 years. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Chinese ones they're gonna have a higher something called a degradation. So almost like your iPhone when it updates every year, you got to buy a new one every year. The
Yeah.
Chinese ones you're probably gonna have to update them in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Almost like the inverter which powers the whole
But
system.
what would be the difference in price for that? Like if you're buying one that was from China versus.
Well, honestly, they're about the same at this point because of import taxes, right? So you're going to pay almost about the same, but the people that are winning are the people that bought the really good panels in bulk. We control the market, right? The people that can't buy them now in bulk because they don't have the capital to buy them, they outsource Chinese panels, right? Because they're easier to get over here and they're going to pay the same exact price, but I can get them, right? So they're going to be about the same price.
So just buy American.
Buy American.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy American.
So let me ask you a question. If I'm out there and I'm saying, I want to go consider doing solar, what is the biggest objective people back out with? Because you're giving me a lot of good points, but what is it? Is it the cost? Is it just they don't know what it's about? Go ahead, Chris.
I think a lot of it is to get a little. We're gonna go a little deeper, if you don't
I
mind.
love it. Let's go.
I think it's a mindset because people have been paying an electric company for 100 years, right?
Is it convenience then? You're saying it's like and I agree. Maybe it's like I don't want to have to transfer my bill over. Is that what?
So an example would be like, okay, so when you move in your house, prior to you having solar, would be like, what made you go with Nevada Energy?
Well, I think at the beginning,
See what I'm saying? You'd be
it's-
like, well, damn, I don't.
Yeah, I think
know if
there's-
I
there's-
I
like
had to. I didn't get a choice.
You know what I'm saying?
There's
So
only
it's-
one company.
It was summertime. I needed AC.
so if you're giving me an option,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but you're saying if solar wasn't around and you just had NV Energy come in, you had no choice. You had no option other
Monopoly.
than just that's it.
That's it.
Let me ask you though, don't you feel like NV Energy has a monopoly now? I mean, Warren Buffett,
They do. They
No, they
control
do.
they
solar
do-
as well.
They control it.
Yeah.
Now.
It's I'll tell you a story. So I had something going on. Well, somebody's got a nice music tune going on. I had a situation where you go to these like new home builds, right? I went to a new home build and it's like they have this Tesla box where you can. It's like off the grid. You can 100%. You can run your house off of it. I don't know how accurate it is, but with that said, why wouldn't people consider maybe going that direction? Because I think when you look at NV Energy, even on that house, NV Energy was still tapped in somewhere. It still had an NV Energy box on the outside. It's almost like maybe that's what it is. It's that that NV Energy is a part of it anyways. And if you don't use or if your solar goes over, you have to pay them anyways because then that's when they come in with their energy, right? So if your solar panels don't produce enough energy, then NV Energy taps in and says, hey, man, your solar panels didn't take over. You got to pay us too. So there's two bills, right?
Wouldn't that be a good thing though in that situation? If your system did produce enough, and per se you had family move in, right, and you had your grandkids come visit you. You probably don't have grandkids because you look my age, but you get a smell on that. I was trying to get a smell out of it.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
But let's say,
No, but he's no
I thought I got him just now.
He's ignoring
No,
you.
I was looking at because we had a comment.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we had a comment. So
per se, right? You now start to use more. Wouldn't you like to be tapped into something and know that you're gonna have enough power all the time? Right? That's where that second place comes up for NV Energy to have that backup power for you.
yeah, but if you felt like the solar panels were doing what they're expected to do with that premium cost, you wouldn't have to need NV Energy to come through.
So do you have a Tesla?
I do, man, and I'm running strong.
What happens if your battery's about to die?
I got a generator. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? What happens if your battery's about to die?
You don't run. It doesn't
Right?
run.
You're right. But what if it tapped into a hybrid or a gas model where it was efficient on gas and you were getting like 36 miles to the gallon?
No, I get it.
Right?
I
And
get
now
it.
hey, my battery's dying, but I know it's going to tap into the gas where I'm not going to lose power and I can get home.
My thing is I think there is a place for you guys with this, and I agree with what you're saying. So look, where I'm at with this is that if NV Energy is a part of it, and you brought up a good point, is at one point you didn't have any options.
Okay.
But NV Energy is still a part of the process, right? They're still part of the game plan. If you could eliminate them altogether, how many more people you think would actually go in and buying solar? I think it would be probably 50-50 minimum, because you have to think that people are like, well, I'm already with NV Energy, and if these solar panels don't produce, I know it's helping the earth and maybe it's cost effective in some way, but they're still a part of the plan, you know?
Yeah, but you're still locking in your rate. So in NV Energy, because they are a monopoly, they don't have any incentive to not keep raising the rate. And the more and more
They're not regulated.
They're not,
not
and so the
regulated.
more and more they keep losing market share to solar customers, who do you think gets that offset cost?
Yeah.
When NV Energy needs to pay pension workers, they need to update the grid. They got tools, they got trucks, they got leases on buildings. That all goes on down to the homeowner, right? And they're just going to keep raising rates. So right now, your solar payment, let's just say it's $200 a month, it will not be $200 in 10 years, or 20 for that matter.
So we got a question here, and as always, shout out to Taco Tuesday, everybody. Taco Tuesday, Tim.
Taco Tuesday.
I haven't had any time.
What's
Hola,
up, Taco Tuesday, Tim? We also have Running at Altitude, which always gives out these stellar questions.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Right.
Running Altitude says, if the roof needs replacement, how much does it cost for someone to come out, take off panels, and reinstall?
So really good question, depending on the company. I'm just going to shoot out a really straight answer for you. It depends on how many panels you have. We calculate it by panel. So it might be anywhere from $50 to $75 per panel to come remove it and then install it back.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not terrible.
Not bad at all.
Not terrible.
So my thing is, like I said, you're making me lean towards solar again.
Come on,
like,
lean a little more.
I'm
Fall for
leaning.
it.
I'm
Fall.
50-50. Like I'm doing one of these, man.
He's dipping,
Fall for it.
You know what I mean?
dipping
Like,
toes right now.
It's like, wait,
Yeah,
I got
That's
a
the
foot in,
Michael
I got a
Jackson
foot
lean
out.
there. I love
got a
it.
foot in. So
Yeah.
we'll see. You know, I'm getting there. So what other misconceptions do you have? You gave us 3, right? So is there 2 more, or is there other things that?
Well, he didn't finish.
Go ahead.
Well, selling my house, right? Selling
Yeah.
my house, and then someone saying, what if the next buyer doesn't want it?
So, and the way I pitched that is
That actually is true. I did an inspection. The people when I was doing the inspection, they had the company coming in and taking off the panels so they could take it to the next house.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So-
the people that buy it didn't want it.
Go ahead.
Good to know. So, good way to look at it is you guys have buyers that want to buy a house with a pool, right? There's buyers that don't want a house with a pool. There's buyers that want a 2-story or 1-story. There's a niche for everybody looking to buy a house, right? But if I was a buyer, I'd be looking for a house that's energy efficient, lowering my costs, update it, have a smart home. Now that's money I don't have to invest into my home when I buy it, right? So there's a niche for those people as well.
Yeah, it's
and
already
anybody
in.
moving 1,000%,
That's
right?
already
So
in.
anybody moving from California, they understand how valuable solar is, considering that their rate is 3 to 4 times our rate here in Vegas, right? So they're looking for houses that they're going to save, right, on not only their electric costs, but be updated to the point when they move in is move-in ready, right? So
Right.
So I want to say this: we're gonna have everybody's information on this show is gonna have all of the contact information in the comment section. So we're gonna have whatever you guys have as far as the solar goes. You guys are my solar people. I mean, I just figured this out. You know, that comment he gave me where I look like I'm 10 years younger than what
Yeah,
I
that's
actually
it.
did.
Yeah, that's
He
That's
just
it.
he just
You
bought a
won?
seat, right?
I was writing it on the way here. This is going to get it.
He's sold. So I
bought
want
a seat.
I want to dive into a couple more things. So let's talk a little bit about Las Vegas. Okay, so people come out to Las Vegas. Are you guys from here? Are you born and raised in Las Vegas?
From Chicago.
Chicago. How about you, Chris?
My dad was in the military, so he was
Nice.
stationed at Nellis. So
What branch was he in?
Air Force,
Okay.
and so that's how I ended up out here.
Wow.
But I represent Las Vegas. I've been here for quite some time now, 20 years.
So if you guys had to ask, you know, or just tell people here, not ask, but tell people here, what is the best thing about Las Vegas since how long have you lived here from Chicago?
10 years on and off. I've lived in other states, Texas, Dallas, Florida, Miami, San Diego.
So is this it?
No.
Like is
No,
Vegas?
definitely not.
Not at all.
Definitely not.
Where's your
I don't like the
dream-
heat. I'm a tropical guy.
Where's your is it what, Florida?
Possibly.
I knew it. I could
Hey,
see
see-
he's a
see,
Florida
how's
man. Hey, Miami, Florida, man. I'm telling you right now,
Miami's the spot.
I'm telling you. And you got Elo over here. She's going to be down there doing her her dancing and stuff, right?
Drinks on me.
Yeah.
But if you looked at Las Vegas, what do you think what is the best thing about Las Vegas of why somebody wants to move here or be here? Like,
Opportunity.
is that what it is?
Opportunity. If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere.
Amen.
Really?
100%.
You said that though before, Dan.
Yeah, but I don't think that it's the same because I think I said it before because there's a lot of entrepreneurs. People come here because it's a new and thriving city, but it's a very competitive city. It really is. Like, how many solar companies out there are you guys competing against?
I don't even count. It doesn't matter.
Really? So you just don't even care?
Doesn't matter.
What about you? What do you think the best thing about Las Vegas is?
I would say, especially for it being a metropolis city now, we've got 3 million people here between Henderson, North Las Vegas, and Vegas. I would have to say our traffic, right? My brother's from Atlanta, and he comes here once a year. He'll be here next week, and we're on the freeway at 3 o'clock. He's like, I can't believe we're like moving. Right?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. He's like, you guys I would never move here, but your traffic is incredible.
I
So,
complain too much.
you know what I mean?
And I think 5 o'clock is not good.
Yeah,
Bring him
yeah.
down 5 o'clock on
Yeah.
the spaghetti bowl. You'll be
Yeah.
pissed.
Give him a
but
couple more
compared to
hours.
like LA, yeah, New York, Jersey, you know what I mean,
LA, yeah, LA
Dallas,
doesn't
you know what I
move.
mean. Our traffic is phenomenal.
Dude, it's good, but it's getting worse. You know, like it takes me 5 extra minutes to get home, and I feel like I'm,
And it's getting worse for us. 'cause
Yeah.
we're
Traffic isn't
spoiled.
bad, though.
We're spoiled.
My
right?
number one complaint
Drivers
about
are
Vegas is traffic. It has
The
nothing.
drivers.
And the weather and the drivers.
The drivers.
That's a lot. You said your number one. You went with traffic, weather. You
Music,
took your lot of
food.
content. Like,
Well, I mean, I just had to get it all out at once. You know? That's like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go. You
It was
know.
one breath. It was
So
one thing.
I want to give one thing here out. Give a shout out to DJ. He just closed on his house, and we're gonna give it DJ a round of applause, everybody, with the
man.
DJ horn.
Congrats, brother.
Yeah. Yay. Let me give that one more time for Esmeralda so she can. I'm going to get that look on her face real quick. Yeah. See that? One more time. Yeah. Look at her. Yeah. I tell you what, man, that's what
Got
she's
it.
all about. She was at the party before, right? The Christmas party.
Yeah, the wine's
nice.
kicking in.
Dude, every time I see Esmeralda, she's coming in from a party. It must be a different world that she lives in. Right? It's like, I'm just coming in from such and such, and not. I'm like, damn, dude. Every week,
Good life.
every
Good life.
I'm a
week.
lightweight. I'm
Hey.
just out. Floating.
So I'm going to say this: what do you dislike about Las Vegas? Because look, people want to know, what is it really like to live here? Because there's a lot of people that move here, and you can say the same thing. And I feel the crime has actually increased. I also feel that's another thing about a dislike. I also feel that when you look at the amount of people and the area space that people have, I don't know if the cost affordability is actually here anymore. I think inflation and the housing costs and everything that's going on, I think we're not far from California. We're still far. I mean, taxes, we got them beat for sure. But everything else, gas is right there. You know, inflation is right there. Cost of living is pretty close. It's not like it was before. So I can't see it getting any better. You guys feel like it's still a good place to be?
You know what? I feel like the people here are probably what makes it worse. I mean, getting into an elevator with a group of people and nobody speaks is really awkward, right? And then you go to other places like, you know, Florida or Louisiana, Mississippi, Atlanta, and they actually talk to you when you get into an elevator or a room, right? Everybody speaks. And, you know, I only base this because when I got a flat tire the other day, one of my cars, and I pulled over and I was on the side of the freeway for almost 2 hours and nobody stopped to help.
Yeah.
But anywhere else, they'll stop and help you out, right? And that is just the hospitality here is just really different. It's kind of forced versus just natural.
But do you feel it's because people don't trust people here?
I just feel like everybody's in competition with the next person for no reason.
Really? I'll tell you this story. So I was driving and I've actually stopped and helped people. And maybe you guys can attest to this and talk about this as well. I was driving and I was going around a turn on a freeway. And I was cruising. I wasn't going too fast, maybe 35 miles an hour. This guy's sitting on the side of the road. Okay, and he's got his wheel off and everything. But it looks like he's fine. Like he can change it himself. I mean, if it was a girl, dude, I'd be okay. Like I'd be like, all right, I'm getting out, you know. But the guy's sitting there and he's just got it like he's kind of like it's almost like he's surveying the situation. And the thing is I don't distrust people, but it's like it's almost like the vibe, like, hey, if, you know, there's a certain way like body language I think you give people. I don't know. It just felt like this guy was just looking for opportunity. It felt like on a situation. Maybe he wasn't. But I think that's the difference is that living here and living in this world today, it's a lot harder to trust people. Dude, you go back 15, 20 years, I don't think anybody would question, hey, man, what's going on? But I think today it's just like you just don't know because somebody's always going to try to take advantage of something, it seems like. You hear it all over the news. Maybe it's the media. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you guys tell me. I mean, do you guys...
This is one of those places where everybody's from somewhere. You know what I mean? There's not a... I know. But I mean, there's a lot of
majority,
majority of the people. I mean, I kind of feel like one too. You know, I've been here for 25 years, but I think I think everybody is really from somewhere here, and nobody really knows.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's I think it's a character thing though, Doug, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I think it's about your upbringing. I'm all for extending a hand and giving my shirt off to somebody else or jacket, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's to a point where if you do it, you don't want to be sorry. You have a family. That's the world. It's like, what if? You wouldn't have to think that way. Sounds weird. But I mean, if you saw a guy on the side of the road, you didn't know who he was. He looks a little bit, you know, but he can change his own tire. He's got a cell phone, but he's sitting there standing there looking at people go by, you know.
Yeah. Well, might probably get hit.
Well, the thing is would you stop and help that person, or would you be like, hey, you know what? I don't know. It just seems weird because that's the only time that ever happened. If it was a girl, no question. Right? Hey, what's up? You know, you need me to help you change the tire? No problem. But with that situation, it's just weird. And when people come from all different walks of life here, you don't know what culture they are. You don't know how to relate to them, maybe, you know. And I think that's the difference. There's not a set way of dealing with people here because everybody's from different places. Yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, would you help that person if they were like that?
It depends.
What about you? Right? You know what I mean? I mean,
if I felt weird, but I go with my first instinct, right? But I feel like social media has exploited craziness a lot more than what in the past you've been able to see. It's been crazy. Crazy has always been around, right?
Right.
But now you get to see it on a major spectrum, on a major platform, how crazy people really are, right? So now you move a lot more different when it comes to helping people out.
Hold on, we're gonna go through this. We missed this. Sorry to cut you guys off. So we got to do our quick trivia here, and the Boardwalk Hotel and Casino with its wooden roller coaster. We already missed it. The Holiday Inn.
I was gonna say that. That's crazy.
Really? Yeah. So we got another one coming up. We got two more questions. We get wrapped up in this stuff, and I forget that we actually have these questions. So my apologies. But we're gonna go to this next question here. Go ahead and finish what you're saying. If you guys see this question pop up, we need to answer the question. Go ahead. What were you saying?
And I just feel like social media has really exploited, you know, people's real capabilities, right? So now I'm a lot more forced to be scared to walk into Walmart, and I'm looking at everybody when they're walking through Walmart as if they're a mass shooter. Right?
Sure, it's perception, right?
It's perception, right?
But now we perceive things differently because we have to, because we're forced to see it.
Yeah.
So here's our next question. Yeah. So which piano man earned $300,000 a week when he headlined the Las Vegas Hilton in 1972? If you guys have that question out there,
Liberace.
Well, here's the question. Here's the people right here. Jerry
Elton
Lee
John.
Lewis, Elton John,
That's what I think too.
Libris.
Liberace.
Oh, Liberace. I'm like, who the hell is that guy?
Liberace.
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 Little Richard. Is Liberace is what? Where's he from?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Do you know where he's from, Doug?
I thought he was a Vegas native.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's.
Oh, no, but he's. I mean, that.
I don't know
dude
where
is
he's
in
from.
Vegas.
He was from here forever.
But where did he come from,
I don't know
though?
where he's from originally.
I think he came from Florida.
So Liberace's like, I don't think that's an American name. That's,
I think he may
He had
be.
a house
I think
in
he may
Florida.
be a foreign descent. I'm not
Yeah,
sure though.
that's
I
kinda
don't
where
wanna
I'm
name
at.
the
Sounds
wrong
strange
thing.
to
It
me.
might be
I don't know.
might be a Liberace fan
Liberace.
listening.
Liberace.
How dare you? Yeah.
So if you guys think it's Liberace's,
Let's go with Liberace. I'm with the team.
I'm gonna say
here.
Elton John.
Yeah.
Elton
Oh yeah.
John.
Who said you said Liberace, right?
I'm gonna
72?
say B because Elton John's been here at.
That's what I think.
He's been at Caesar's Palace for a long period of time.
And you know that his last concert,
I'm gonna
he
call
filled
it.
it up.
It's either that or Libris.
All right,
Liberace.
let's do it.
Let's go Liberace.
I'm going Libris. You going
All right.
Libris?
I'm going
I'm going B.
She wants Elton John.
I want Libris. Please let it be Libris. Anyways, so we'll keep looking at this. Oh, it is Libris. Dude, Liberace. Look at this
That's
guy
2
over
for
here.
2. Come
Yeah,
on, man.
he's crushing it
Kind
over
of
here.
smart over here, man.
Yeah.
My guesses
2
are
for
point.
2.
Yeah, look at that. Check that out. So we got another question here, and we got Adam. What's up, folks? What's up, everyone? What's up, Adam?
What's up, Adam?
Steelers freak. What's going on, man? What's going on, Wisco, folks? Wisconsin. Anyways, let's go to the next question here. So I knew it was going to be Libris. I mean, when I said that, I knew it was
You
exactly.
knew the answer.
I mean, I had to follow
You
his.
said it though.
Yeah, I had to follow. So listen, the Mirage sits on the site of what formal strip hotel and casino? Westward Ho, which is the top 5-star hotel. The Landmark, Desert Inn, and Castaways. Do you guys have any answers on that?
Is it Landmark?
I would say
I don't know
Landmark.
why I like Westford.
Nah.
Like
What do
Westford
you guys
Hotel.
like out there? You
Westwood-
guys tell me what you like out there. What do you
can't
guys?
remember.
What do you guys think it is? Can you guys answer this question here?
Landmark, I think.
Anybody out
That's
there
it.
watching the
Say
show?
Westford. I just
What do
like-
you think, Esmeralda?
I'll say a landmark. I don't
You
know.
say Landmark? I'm gonna say the Westward Ho, just because I know the name Ho.
Okay.
Hits me
Yeah,
every
used to be a lot
time.
of hoes in back.
Oh really?
You've been a what?
A lot of hoes on site.
Oh, like that.
It just triggers me. I'm triggered now.
Triggered by okay.
All right, what do we got here? Let me see what we got. What do you got? What'd you
I say
get?
Landmark.
You say Landmark?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got here. Come on. Come up here, please. Like
What
Jeopardy
did Doug?
song.
What do you think?
Landmark.
Landmark.
So how many landmarks do we have?
That's 3.
Let's see if we can
That's
get
3.
everybody on a camera here.
3.
Can we get everybody on? Oh, do we have
look at
everybody?
that.
Look
Let me
at
see.
that.
Oh, we got everybody on a camera here.
Look at you.
So let me go ahead and just, wow, look at you, big dog. Let's see if we could do this real quick. So I'm
You
going to
the-
pull this to
you
the
the
back.
man.
Hey, there we go. But we got to see the questions, right?
Okay,
so
yeah.
Let's do this here. So the question is the castaway.
Wow.
Wow, look at that.
Castaway.
I forgot about the cat. That's so long.
For us to be Vegas natives, we need to get our Vegas history.
That's
Trivia.
terrible.
Can't believe you guys. You guys live here and
Yeah, that's terrible.
don't
I
know
want to
your
see.
history.
I'm going to see if we can go to commercial here real quick, guys, because we just did the trivia here. So let me see if we could pull this off. I'm going to try to go. Let's see what we got here. Hey, hi there. This is Dan French. You guys know me from podcast, the French Workbench podcast, and I just launched a new channel, The Sound Off. If you guys want to work with a realtor that's had experience, not just this flash, realtor out here that's putting out videos and then works through the process of getting internet leads. I'm somebody that's been in the trenches. If you guys want to start with a realtor that has knowledge and experience over 15 years, I'm your guy. I'm your go-to realtor here in Las Vegas. I'll roll up my sleeves and work hard for you. Please check out lvhomeprofessionals.com. That's a great place to get started. So there's a lot of problems out here with people looking to buy a house. And when they look at inflation, they look at rates, it's really hard to justify buying a house today. I'm here to help you, guide you through that process and really make you understand what's happening in this market and pass the ball to you.
All right.
All right, and we are back, people. What is going on over here?
That commercial just gets better and better, Dan.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, that contrast
Oh, yeah.
makes my face look like 10 years younger than even what he said.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
like 25 now.
Yeah.
I thought you were underage for a second in that video.
You know what I will say though is I got carded here. I was buying liquor for somebody that was with me, and I got carded.
Was it the hoe?
It was from the Westward Ho.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you, girl. Look at coming on up. Man, she snuck that one. Little jab right there.
Yeah,
Give you a little jab right
You
there.
didn't want to be a castaway.
You
It's
ain't
all
gonna
good.
be the star. I got the hoe too.
right.
All right, so let's get into it. So you know what time it is. Oh. All right, let's end that quick. So, where to get Christmas dinner in Las Vegas if you didn't want to cook? Doug, was that your topic?
That's mine.
I just go knock on doors.
Hey, you got a plate?
Anybody got anything?
I do want to say one thing before we get into this. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. You could be anywhere you want tonight, and we want you guys to have long, prosperous success. So thanks for coming on, Phil
you
and
for
Chris.
inviting us, man. Yeah.
We're gonna have their comments all their information in the comment section. You guys have any last words? But you can stay here. But you guys, anything else about solar?
If you guys are on the edge about solar, give me a call.
And you
That's
guys.
simple. And even if we don't do business together, I can at least give you guys the correct insight, the correct information to make a really educated decision on whether or not it's for you.
Chris, the hitman?
Same thing. It's not about, we're coming in as educators, right? And
Absolutely, man.
making sure that the homeowner's armed with the right information. And because we do that, when they go out and get other quotes, per se, they'll know that, okay, these guys are not the real deal. Phil and Chris are, and so they've been able to earn the business.
Dude, you convinced me. Like, I think I'm getting solar in all my houses.
Yeah, call me tomorrow.
I'm like, wait a second, I gotta do this. Like, I feel like I'm missing
I
something
think he's
here.
gonna get solar on his Tesla.
Yeah, absolutely.
okay, yeah.
Dude, and they'll give me a discount. It's a group discount, right? Tesla on a Tesla, right?
I would.
Ezzy,
Yes.
hey man, hey, listen, that will be your backup generator. Imagine if they put in solar panels on top of a car. So when you run out of energy, that will be your backup.
I think that's
Hey,
coming.
hey, did
You
you
think
They
it's
got a
coming?
car that just got approved. Actually, It's
That would be
coming
an
out.
actual cool idea.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to patent that. No, I'm just saying.
did you hear that Tesla's coming out with a hydrogen next year?
No, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you put solar on a hydrogen, and you're
Well,
all,
I don't think there's
you're all
going to be a
green.
solar panel on the car. I think that the roof and the hood
It's
will
built
be
in.
solar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically, if you are going cross country, right, and you just don't got the plug,
You'll make
You're
it.
getting
you'll still
sunlight.
make it because you're getting sunlight.
Producing during the day.
That's coming, right?
100%.
And then guess what? Guess what's after that? Airplanes, boats.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
I'd be hard pressed to get me in a fucking plane that's solar.
Dude, solar plane, bro.
That's fucking.
You would do it, Doug.
No.
Hey, I think we're running a business right now. What you say?
Doug, you get into it, man.
What are we talking about?
We need to switch
talk about
information. Yeah.
He's like, he's just like, sign here, here, and here. Let's go to the back. We're done here. All right, so let's go back. Dinner, right?
Yes.
Where to get Christmas dinner in Las Vegas if you don't want to cook?
Ezzy's house.
Yes. My mom's house, right?
Yeah.
Damn, your mom. It's always the mom that does it, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's always
And
that.
we help on the side dishes.
You know what it is? It's that Elo thing.
I know.
Elo's mom does it.
Right.
Her mom does it, right? Elo.
My mommy does it.
That's right. Go ahead,
So
talk to us.
for us, our tradition is enchiladas, tamales, right?
Hey, the accent just came
Yeah.
out.
It's like this.
Tamales.
Hey,
Enchiladas.
taquitos,
Oh, okay. We got some. I didn't know you know how to speak Spanish a little bit.
coronas.
He's speaking Chicano. Yeah,
Arroz y frijoles.
Oh yeah, try that one, Dan. Try that one.
Arroz y frijoles.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
I can
Arroz
do
y
that.
frijoles.
Arroz y frijoles.
Hey, you gotta roll it. You gotta roll.
Oh, so mira, arroz y frijoles.
So my topic was. You know what?
Did you get that?
Yes, I did, and I'm ignoring it. I'm going on with my topic.
Okay.
So some of the topics, or some of the restaurants for Christmas, so for families that don't cook and actually want to go somewhere nice. I actually got this from Jeff Michael, man. He's probably watching us.
What do you mean, Mr.
Hey, Jeff.
Mr. Trump himself?
Yes.
Dude, we got to get him back. He's just
I
Trump
know.
Jr. He comes
I know,
in
man.
and it's about the.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to
Huge.
get the
He
people
does
here.
a huge.
He's so good.
He does a
He's so
huge
good.
thing.
Huge.
So some of the places that he picked were actually phenomenal, which I agree. So he said Hell's Kitchen at Caesar's Palace is one of the number ones. Those are considered to be the best, right? The 10
Hey, isn't
best.
there like a fat place spot like downtown? Like
A
it's
fat
like
place?
yeah,
What?
it's like Heart Attack or something like you go there, you're gonna leave 10 pounds heavier.
Heart Attack Grill.
Heart Attack Grill.
That's it.
Have you been there?
Yeah,
I've never been.
if you're a certain amount of weight over, you get to eat for free.
Wait,
Dude, just wear a
I think
fat
it's
suit.
350 pounds, and they have a scale outside the restaurant. And if you stand on it and you're above that weight, you get to eat for free.
Oh,
free.
shit.
no.
Would
what?
you
Yeah.
would you
No,
wear a fat
no.
suit?
I
with
almost
clothes on?
died in there.
Did you really?
Oh
You
my
ate
god,
so
that
much
food was insane.
Really?
The burgers come out like freaking footballs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I
I
thought it
gotta
would be
try
like
that
I thought it
out.
would be like boiled large soup. You know, you
Never been
just
there.
sip it
No,
up.
they're-
Like,
You're on a diet for the day.
I'm
You're
talking
getting a heart attack.
bacon
Get
heart
you
attack
up.
burgers, you know?
you know, it's like here we boiled this for 5 hours. This is boiled, lard. I don't know,
Straight
leftover.
pig fat.
Yeah, here, just
fat
take a
burger.
hit of
That's
that.
actually good for you, Dan.
Is it really?
Yeah, it
Greases
is.
you up?
Yeah. Oh,
What
yeah, that
is?
lard's good for you, man.
What goes in must come out easier.
Right. Keeps you consistent.
Lube up the old pipes. All right, go ahead.
Okay. You guys are so crazy.
Keep
oh my
going,
God.
Essie. Keep going.
STK at the Cosmo is considered to be one of the best.
STK.
STK. Oh my God. So another one that I don't know how many people have been to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. It's considered to be one of the best.
I don't
which
think
is
they're around anymore.
They close up.
At the Harris, yeah. But it's
Oh, there's one
considered
at
La
Harris?
Cave.
Okay.
So
Should
let
be
me
one
ask you.
left.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What's the highest cost of a plate that you paid for, like a steak plate or a plate going out to high fine dining?
Oh man, 200 something bucks for a steak.
250.
225 for Wagyu.
Yeah.
Yeah. You how much?
Yeah.
225.
So for fine dining, you went out, right?
Yeah.
What is there a limit for you how much you're going to spend, you guys?
I like
Yes.
good food. I like good food. If I go there for the experience and I know it's expensive, I'm not going to complain about the price.
So what is there a price limit though? There's no price
I
limit.
mean, if I see a burger and it's like $1,000, that's out.
Oh, so
That's out.
you're like
That's
that.
out. That's out.
Wait a second, you go to 1,000 on that.
No, I
No,
mean,
no,
no.
it's out. He's
giving you an
so
example.
If I look at
Because I'm going to say this. that
shouldn't
if
a burger be more than $200?
If I saw a steak at $150 plate, I'll
You're
tell you
out.
what, I did it one time.
You're out.
I was already out before I got there. I was hyperventilating. I'm like, 150? Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
is this Roy? Is this pesos?
It's like, dude, and I'm getting pulled by my ear, like, we got to get in here. This is an experience. So anyways, I go in there and I'm looking at this, and then they serve this steak that's like this big,
Yeah.
and they got like,
You got
know,
one
like
That's a
fucking-
large on the
Oh,
top.
yeah.
Right?
One little
a
piece
little
of
bit of
toast.
sauce, and then they got this. It's like
I bet it
One
looked
carrot.
pretty. I
one
bet-
carrot, one broccoli with like a
One
little
carrot.
flour that goes out, like it's
Yeah.
all nice, and I'm like,
No way.
where's the real dinner at? Like,
Yeah.
do I get something
rest
else?
coming?
So,
Yeah, it's like,
so
what
Dad
the hell is
takes
this?
a plate and just goes.
Oh, it wasn't even that. It was like I took a bite and then I'm like, I think I need to go leave to go eat somewhere else because I wasn't. It didn't even do anything for
Nah.
me. And the bill was like $300 and something, and I'm like, dude, never again will I do
Did you
that.
get an appetizer?
Where was
No,
that?
I mean,
Where was it at?
I
What
can't say
restaurant?
that because then I'm going to be blackballed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
don't do
want to
that.
do that.
Yeah, you don't want to, and then people see this show and be like, don't go there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just tell you,
You gotta order an appetizer.
it was
if
somewhere
you
in
go to places
Caesar's
like
Palace. That's all I'll say. But we'll leave it at that. Yeah, you guys can leave it at that. So, anyways, have you guys have a price point on how much you're gonna eat?
Yeah, I do. I if it's for by myself or with two people, doesn't matter what that is. I would say for a plate, $250 would be my max per person, and that's with everything. That's with appetizers.
You know who has a really good steak is the M. The M has Marnell's
Yeah,
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
good stuff.
That was freaking phenomenal. That's probably the best one. I mean, there's one at Circus. There's.
Circus is considered to be the best. I've never had it. So
I think it's better. I think Marnell's is better than Circus. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So I'm going to say this. I think there's still a good experience though to come to Las Vegas. It's just if you're, you want to eat a real meal, you might not want to go there like to a fine because I think there's a certain like level of etiquette that that goes with that. Doesn't mean you don't want to experience it, but
Right.
I wasn't impressed just because I like to eat a high volume of food.
You wanted to go to In-N-Out.
Yeah, I would rather go to the heart attack.
It's about quantity, right?
I would rather go to the
Quantity,
heart attack.
quality,
Big
quality
burger,
is the
$20.
subsection of quantity.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And drink a bucket of grease, then go spend $225 on a plate,
Out of
Right.
one carrot.
and it's like an hors d'oeuvre. It's like one of those. All right, You move it along.
Yeah.
You gotta laugh. So did you get dessert? I mean, was that part with dessert? Or
That was out. He said 350.
Dude.
Close me
When
out.
they said 225 and I had a drink,
Check.
and the bread sticks were still like $50. Like it was a breadstick. I was like, oh, those are complimentary. No, that's $50. It's like, damn, they already hit you 50 spot.
There you go.
So you were at 400 then after the breadsticks?
No, I was at 225, so I couldn't afford to do the dessert. No alcohol.
It was
drinks.
$225 for two people.
Yeah, for two people. Once I found that out, water and lemon, extra
Okay,
lemon.
so you're with your girl and you're like, hey, no drinks.
Did
We're
you get
at our
shit
limit.
in
No, I did the sign signal just like you. I was like doing one of these and one of those and like no and yes and no and what and yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Pull chocks. Pull chocks.
You were like, yeah, no,
And
that's
don't-
out.
And
Water?
listen, there would be a time in my day if I was that young, and I would never encourage this, but a dine and dash. I'm just playing. Doug went like this. Like, oh.
Oh, God.
Memories, huh?
No.
You look fast, man.
Hey, Doug's a ninja. You guys don't know. Hey, he's in the Marines. He's a ninja.
Hey, can I get another water?
Boom.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Where'd that guy go?
Esmeralda got caught doing that in high school, right? Just like,
No,
all right, we got to keep moving. Anyways, I
Yeah.
would never encourage a dine and dash. Don't do it.
Please
Don't
don't.
do it.
Especially on a $225 bill.
Yeah.
You're going to the slammer.
Yeah, please
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do that.
Oh, yeah, you're going right to the slammer. Handcuffs and everything.
Long weekend.
Long weekend.
Or hell.
And you're not full.
Hey, you know,
Somebody will have their hands full.
no.
All right, let's keep moving. All right, so I'm not the only realtor. We got a title rep. We got somebody in here that's from home inspector. Doug or
You
not?
said home inspector.
Home inspecting. He's in a home inspecting. And also he's a realtor on the side. And I'm a real estate agent as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the market here. So,
agent too as well, right?
oh, there you go. So we all have an idea, everybody here. So everybody has an idea about what's going on in the market. So I'm going to throw some stuff out. So in the month of September, we had price cuts of 42%, right? On sellers cutting their homes. We're down year over year, significant numbers, right? I think we're like 11% down as far as at our peak. And now we're average price of a home's $430,000. Okay. So we also see that nationally, we're 27% decline as far as price cuts for sellers. Sellers are doing that as well. Pending sales down 65% year over year.
What does that mean, Dan?
Well,
Pending-
pending sales are sales that people go into contract or going to
That
write on a
actually
contract
haven't sold.
that haven't been sold.
So we're down 65%?
65% on the amount of offers being wrote and pending sales coming
Okay.
through.
All right.
Now, the other thing is rates have come down a bit, yet there's zero confidence out there. And maybe it's the time of year, but there's zero confidence for people out there to buy a house right now. And what do you guys think this market's going to do? Not just here in Las Vegas, across the country. What do you think is going to happen? You think people are really going to come back into this market? If they do, is this going to be something first quarter? We know it's not happening this month. We know it's probably not going to happen next month. January is typically a slow month. When do you think people's confidence will actually come back? I also heard one last thing, Doug, is I heard rates will not come down fully until probably 2025, where you'll see that full spectrum.
Yeah.
They
Right.
can't get control of this inflation situation.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for us? Are we out of business? Like, what is that going to mean?
I think the more the Fed keeps raising the rates, I think the less confidence the consumers have in our housing market. That's what I think.
So even though we
Because-
have rate
because they
slides,
keep-
yeah,
Yeah, they keep. I mean, you keep getting stuck, and it's like, you know, you have to say, you know, enough is enough. It's like, you know, the Fed says, because I think their CPI is going to be like, I think the CPI is going to be lower, so they can say, yeah, okay, CPI is lower, so we're going to raise the interest rates, not as much, but a little bit. And like I said before, you know, with the interest rates that we've had risen from last 2 years, It's 1,800%. They've raised the interest 1,800% on what we had at the beginning of 2020. So
Well, yeah, it's crazy.
yeah.
right?
So I mean, inflation, whatever. But if the Fed keeps sticking it to us, then it means that they want us to fail, and that's the take I get on it anyway.
And this is why we say we talk a lot about what's happening with builders.
Yeah.
Builders are a great indicator of what's going on in the market, because if they're doing well, typically, right, or they're doing okay, it means the economy's doing somewhat well. I mean, they're decimated right now. They have a lot of their numbers are completely down.
Right.
They're offering tons of incentives,
Right.
right? Offering tons of things like just to get some of these properties sold. Yet, the prices of these homes are still somewhat sustaining where they're at, meaning they've dropped a bit, but they haven't dropped fully like we've seen. Like we've seen huge drops, right?
Right.
We were at like 490 back in March, April when we saw that
Right.
decline when rates started to go up.
Right.
They've
Yeah.
declined too, but it's almost like they've stayed strong. I was just at a
What are we,
builder's.
like 420 now?
No, I mean, I was just at a builder's, very affordable builder, right? Lennar.
Right.
Maybe not affordable to a lot of people, but three
Well, they're
bedroom, three
mid-range.
bath. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you have pretty decent sized home. It's almost 2,000 square foot home.
Right.
2,500 square foot, and it's 500,000. All in, you're about 530. You got to think they're going to give you closing costs. You got to think that they're going to,
Yeah.
pretty much on a Lennar home, it's pretty much a move-in ready. Not move-in ready, but you have certain things, but that home is what it is.
Okay.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just like I look at this market. I look at the psychological effect of people.
The
right?
interesting thing that I saw the other day, and I did an inspection down there in Cadence, and I was driving through. I came off of Boulder Highway, and came in the back way off of Cadence into Cadence, and they're doing all the underground work. So they're doing all the they're laying all the water line, the gas line. They've got the lots graded out, everything, but there's really no homes on them. But it's huge. I mean, the area that they're working on is huge with no framing up. So if you remember, like last time, what happened was they had everything graded out and then everything sat for such a long time, right?
Uh-huh.
And they got it ready to go for the next, I guess, whatever the next boom or the next building phase, I guess, or whatever, after the economy had dropped. So what I'm seeing now is down in and that was just in Cadence, and I know they have another place up in the Northwest, and it's off of Providence, up in Providence area, but they're going with all the grading and all the underground utilities and all that other stuff too up there. So I think they're getting ready to have the property ready, but not necessarily build on it. That's what I'm seeing.
I think what's going on is people are spending money a lot faster than usual, right? And there's a lot of money out there still floating around. So people are spending money at a higher average than the last couple of years, so they know people have money.
Right.
So for them, they're like, hey, you guys have money, so what does it hurt for us to raise the interest rates?
Absolutely.
Right? So until the circulation of money really starts to slow down,
Right.
I don't think the interest rates are going to change anytime soon.
I agree. I think they're trying to get all that, but just like they did last time around, they tried to get all the money they could out of this economy.
1,000%.
What about you? What do you think about this market right now?
So
Family, friends, what are they
I think
saying?
it's a great market, and I'll tell
Really?
you why. Because, those stats that you laid out, not that they're wrong, but there's a big piece that's always missing in that stat, is that depending on when that person bought, let's just say 19 and before, they're still in the money. So you got 200,000 worth of equity, and now you're 150 because your house, you dropped it 50,000, right? Even if you dropped it 100. Well, the public is looking at that like, oh, he just dropped 100,000. He's about to lose his ass, right? No, he's still up 100.
Yeah.
Right? Because the market shot up so high that we need a catastrophe to bring it back to those buyers that bought before 19.
Well, here's the
to
question.
Not be in the money. There's
the
too
question.
much money.
We won't be going back to like we were in 2000.
I don't think so. No. People are. I mean, when I look, because I like to look at what people bought their home for. I mean, there's people who got homes for like $250 and they're selling them for like $600. So I mean, they could just keep coming down if they wanted to. If they wanted to be real aggressive.
So they're saying they bought it for $250
Yeah,
back?
$250, $300,
Wow.
yeah, $325, $340.
So my question is this though: is that if you got, where do you go after that? Do you buy cash or do you get a loan? And I think,
Relocate.
yeah, that's the thing is like it makes sense, right? It makes sense to say, hey, I'm going to do that because if you have people
Or
like
put
that,
it in a commercial.
Well, what what the stat does is like when they keep pushing like, oh, they've dropped this. Well, the consumer's like, well, I'm just going to keep waiting because it keeps dropping. And so they think that the homeowner is suffering, right? Like, look, they're desperate. They're trying to sell their house. No, they're still up. They're still up 200,000, right? They're not hurting. Like they got money in that house, right? They can drop 50, they can drop 40, they can drop, they can keep going down. And as long as they make a profit when they sell that house, it was still a good investment. And I like to use sports analogies. It's like the year that Terrell Owen had the most drops. Like, but they don't talk about he was targeted the most. Yeah. So actually, he's actually a more efficient receiver than everyone else. But they highlight the drops. But if he was thrown to the ball the most, what I mean, he actually is not that. You know what I mean? And so that's what I see from my perspective is that they're highlighting the drop, but they're not talking about actually the homeowner that is in the money, a lot of money.
So,
go ahead.
I think what's happening now too, especially in the Vegas market, is they're controlling the population growth.
Yeah.
Right. Because way too many people were moving here at a faster pace, and it was really hard to keep up with the builds at a certain point. They couldn't build houses fast enough, right? So now being able to control how many people move here and how many houses are being bought now controls the population. So now on my Instagram, crazy story, I'm seeing places like McAllen, Texas, right? Katy, Texas, right? You can get a 3,000 square foot house for $300,000, right?
Yeah, but you're paying 12% taxes on it.
True, but I'd rather pay 12% on 300 grand versus 12% on 6, 7, 800 grand on a house that's overpriced in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
right. So now, if I need to buy a house, somebody smart like me is going to go somewhere like Katy, Texas, to pay the $300,000 and wait for the market to drop, interest rates to go down, and then what?
Yeah,
refi.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, and I'm still up in the clear. So now they're getting people to either A, relocate.
Yeah.
Or B, they're targeting people that have money to now move here because they don't really care about the interest rates. They can afford the house, and they're not really stressed about the interest rates because when they go down, I'm just going to refi anyway and get a better rate.
Don't marry the rate.
I think you hit some key factors.
Marry the rate.
Yeah, you don't marry. Well, here's some key factors: is where's the prominent amount of people moving from? It's higher end areas that have higher cost of living.
Literally sold a house.
California,
that's where they're moving.
$2 million. Now they're sitting all this extra equity, and they're coming here and buying a $600,000 house. And what was happening was they're buying 2 properties at one time.
Right. Yeah.
They're buying this property, but in a secondary rental property. Right. So they're buying up houses for people like us that wanted a house.
Right.
But they're turning these properties into rental properties. Right. So now, how do I slow down that market? Is control the rate. Raise the prices super high interest rates. Now I can control the growth. We have a water issue.
Well, and then if you got if it's not your primary home, the cap is 8% on the taxes. So then you got, the cap is 3% on your personal loan.
Yeah, but here's my thing is that if you're living in Las Vegas, you got no shot. And what I mean by that is you're already here. Your house is what it is, right? Do you want to sell your house in Vegas? Let's say you lived in Vegas. You already lived here for 5 or 7 years. And you have a good point. Like if you have equity, but then you're trading that equity, where do you go? It's not about, is it a smart move to cash out on that equity? The question is, where do you go after that? And if you do need a loan, do you want to take on that 6.5 rate? If you're moving from another state and you're moving here, that's a personal decision. And I think that a lot of people, if it wasn't such a difference in cost, meaning the same home that you see here, $1 million home would cost $2 million, 2.5 in California.
Oh yeah, and depending on where it is, $5 million
easily,
depending where it is. Yeah,
you got tax breaks. So you get here and you settle here. That's an easy choice or an easier choice to come here, right? Yeah. But it's what if you're living already in the city you're in and you want to maybe upsize or downsize? Do you really want to leave that house?
It's that way in every place in the country.
The only places they're moving, is those. Go ahead.
The only place that is beneficial are for people moving from a high end area. So you say California, Illinois, New York, moving to an area like this that has a lower priced homes. And but if you're living here already, I mean, you really, I mean, unless you did well with your investments over the last 20 years, I mean, you're not going to, just because you bought a house in 2018 doesn't mean you're doing anything.
All right, so we got to keep moving. If you guys have any questions, you got my girl. You had her contact information come up. Her name's Janine. She's going to be on standby. So if you guys have questions about what's going on here on the show or anything that's happening here in Las Vegas, I'm your realtor to go to here in Las Vegas. So if you guys check me out, also danfrenchconnection.com, you could check that out. So we're going to keep moving, and I got this music for Doug here. Doug's about to start up with the home inspection report of the night. And what's 9 displaced in Las Vegas apartment fire, potential causes. It says 9 displacements, I guess.
I saw that article, and they said it was an electrical fire.
Okay.
And I looked at
Go ahead.
I've done inspections in that community.
What is this, man?
Condo.
So what happened
It's a
over
condo.
here? It's a condo.
Yeah. So, okay, from my perspective, and I'm not anybody that's like an investigator or anything like that, but from my perspective, and there's certain things that it could be, that you could look at is, one is the complex is newer. It was built in 2006. So either one of the things that I thought of when I saw that is like when you wire something in a wall, you splice the wires to continue the wires. Sometimes you run it all the way through, but if they're not splicing them in a junction box, in a fire rated junction box, that could be a big deal. And I mean, maybe those junction boxes weren't fire rated. And
So explain what a junction box is.
A junction box is where you have two wires come together, and you have to tie them together, right? So you have to splice them. And when you splice those wires, it's called a junction box. And the junction box is what you splice the wires within.
Okay.
So a junction box can take,
Why would somebody do that? I mean, it's obviously not up to code, is it?
Not splice them in a junction box?
Is that up to code?
I'm just saying maybe those junction boxes,
Maybe caught on fire or something? Or
maybe weren't fire rated. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And so in today's homes, what we have arc fault breakers, and these arc fault breakers actually detect arcs that actually cause fires in the wiring. So when you're wiring, when you cross wires and they arc or whatever, that breaker actually will trip. And so there's safeguards for that type of thing. Now, in older units, you have 2-wire systems, and today's world we have some high-powered stuff, some electronic stuff, some stuff that maybe get the hot wires pretty hot, and so in older units, I would say that you have potential there too as well.
So on this fire
here,
from your best estimation, what do you think contributed? How did this happen? Because it seems like, are they doing, like, you have to have some type of person that goes and inspects these properties on a yearly basis, maybe on a quarterly basis, right?
The city will go through and do a framing inspection, right?
Okay.
So this framing inspection includes the wiring. It includes when you wire in the walls, you have wire running through the studs, and at the front of the stud, you'll have this thing called a nail plate. It's a metal plate that actually prevents you from pounding a nail into the wire.
Okay.
Going through the stud. And so, maybe nail plates had been left out. Maybe they had faulty junction boxes or junction boxes that weren't rated.
Okay.
Maybe they made splices with outside of a junction box. And maybe, and the other thing is the reason why a breaker trips is because the wires get hot, right? So maybe they didn't size the wire correctly.
You wouldn't know not unless the wire got hot?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and if the breaker didn't trip, maybe there were bad breakers. If the breaker didn't trip when the wire got hot, because the breaker is supposed to trip when a wire gets hot, that could cause a problem as well. So maybe it might be a bad breaker in the panel. There could be a number of things that are going on with that.
Hold on one second,
Yeah.
Doug. We're going to go to the riddle of the day. We'll come back to you, okay? So just really quick, we got to go to the riddle of the day. So the riddle of the day for everybody out there, if you guys get this right, hopefully you guys get it right. So you measure, it says, you measure my life in hours, and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin, and I'm slow when I eat. The wind is my enemy. So let's do that again. What am I? You measure my life in hours.
Slow when I'm fat.
Yep. Let me do this real quick. You guys go ahead and think about that. Let me go ahead and put this on a 5 cam. And what do we have, guys? What do we have? You guys have an answer for me? If you guys don't have an answer, if you guys want to get an answer on this, go ahead and message me after the show. Message my girl Janine with the answer to this. I'm sure everybody's going to start throwing it out there. We'll have a nice, warm gift for you ready, waiting and email.
No, just kidding.
Esmeralda thinks it's a what?
A B.
A B. All right. Doom. Okay, there you go. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Sounds like I don't know. I've heard this before, but I could be wrong. A candle.
A candle.
I'm slow when I'm dead.
Actually, Rented at Altitude said it's a candle too.
I'm quick when I'm fat.
So we have to get that answer.
That's a good guess.
That's a very good guess.
I don't
And
know what that
I'm going to
is,
say
but-
this: running at altitude,
Candle.
you get too many questions answered right. So he's got to give everybody else a chance because he's won. I think he's won. Anyways, keep answering. I'm just saying he's on it, man.
Yeah.
He's on it. So, anyways,
I think
so
he's right.
email French Workbench info, which is my girl Janine, the question or the answer to the question, and we'll see what she has for you. And Christmas will come early. You know?
Nice.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? So, Doug, let's go ahead and final thoughts on what happened here.
Well, it could have been a lot of things, but I mean, I guess one of the things that just to look at the safety side of things, what we do is we have arc fault breakers in our panels now. We have non-metallic sheath cable, which in the old days they had braided cloth. They had 2 wires in the old days. Now we have 3. So we've always got a ground wire. So what we have. What they have here is obviously it's an overheated wire.
Is this by age though? Like as years go by, right? You have engineers and people look at these things and faulty things that didn't work, right? And they made adjustments or changes.
Sure, that's
right?
what the code's all about. That's what the engineers get together and they say, okay, well this happened, and that's how we got the arc. That's why we came to GFIs. That's why we came to arc fault breakers.
Yeah.
And so basically fires start because wires get hot.
Is that primarily? I mean, unless you like leave the oven on and you're cold and you don't have a heater.
No.
That's sad to say, but it's true. That does happen.
Well,
but I mean, is that the primary reason?
Yeah, wires get hot. And
that's the primary reason, though. Would you say that
you start a fire in a wall? Yeah, absolutely. So
Is there a year though, like
that
you feel like, hey, this happens normally around this, like if the home's like 10 years
I could
old,
see it in an older
15,
I could see it in an older home because you have like different types of wiring. You have like knob and tube wiring. 1970. Okay, so here's the other thing that happened back in the 70s and 80s. They had aluminum wiring, and aluminum expands and contracts. It has different rates of expansion and contraction, and copper is actually more stable. What happened is aluminum would expand, and it would get loose in their contacts where they contacted the breakers and whatnot, and so then at that point you get sparking, you get arcing in the panel just because it's heated up and then cool down, heated up, cool down, and that was a main cause. That's why they eliminated aluminum wiring from your general wiring within the house, is because they're having problems with that.
Really?
So, yeah. So, and the big thing with aluminum wiring, even if you do have it, just have it checked like every so often, just to make sure your contacts are tight and that you don't have any loose contacts to be able to that would cause any kind of arcing or anything.
Any issues like that?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Any other things you have to say about that? Because I think that a lot of people they don't know why this stuff happens.
Yeah, and I just looking at it, I guess the first question I would ask is check the breakers and see if the breakers are tripping at the temperature or the rate they're supposed to. that because when the wires get hot, the fires start.
So I'm going to say this. So Doug is, how many years in the business you been, Doug?
Well, I've home inspections, I've been 22, and then commercial and engineering consulting, I've been doing it since 94. So.
And he's probably the smartest guy in his room by far, right? I mean, there's a lot of smart people. But Doug, I really appreciate you coming on, man. If you guys need somebody that's a home inspector, somebody that can really get in there and roll up their sleeves and work hard for you, Doug or not, Liebig here is your guy. Las Vegas Home Inspections.
Yeah.
Give this guy a call, man. Give
Yeah.
him, just try him out. If you're a military guy out there, or person or woman, whoever.
Military guy, you give you 10%
girl,
discount.
Dude,
man.
right there. And you guys go have a beer afterwards. And the
Well,
beer's on you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't drink much beer anymore, but I'll definitely
Dude,
drink a
Or
Makers.
wine now.
If
right?
you got a so if you got a Marine,
Makers.
if you got a fellow Marine come up to you and say, Doug, we're fellow Marines, man. We got to go have a beer.
We're brothers, man.
We're
all
brothers. You're brothers. You
Yeah,
got to go have a
we're all
beer.
brothers.
Yeah. Esmeralda, you got any last words here?
If you guys are looking for a good title company, please definitely contact me over Public Title, the new over Public Title,
The new.
over Public
And improved.
The
Title.
Wheelchair Republic title.
Yeah.
We got to answer a couple of these questions here, so I do want to not leave people out. So, Verse Star, what's up, buddy? I got to give him a shout out real quick. It's been a while, dude. Verse Star has been on the show here a couple of times, and this guy, really have a lot of respect for him. He's out there. He's in the trenches. Always a guy that's trying to help my show, and he's always out there trying to bring a lot of good information and just bringing his camaraderie. So I want to give a shout out to him. DJ running at Altitude, Taco Tuesdays out there. You got Steelers Freak, love that guy. Let's see. We got this air horn for you again, Esmeralda. I'm just waiting for the response.
Start the party.
Let's see if we got. let's do the Glockenspiel. Oh, that's the Glockenspiel. How
That's
about the
Tinkerbell.
part? There you go.
Hey.
That's your New Year's.
That's your New Year's. Yeah, we got to wait to that one for New Year's.
Yeah,
Let's-
don't. Yeah,
One last one. We'll do
Don't spoil it.
We'll do the bike horn. There you go. I also want to say this, guys. Let's go a couple other questions here because we're ending the show. Let me see here. Running out through said, have a great Christmas. Thank you so much. And we'll check and see if you got that right. If they sell that house long term, you just hold. Not sure why that's never mentioned. That's a good question. I mean, look, man, everybody out there.
My crypto.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you have a tangible possession of something, which is a house, which is not going to go anywhere. And I'm not saying now's the
Can't
best
produce
time.
more land, right?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not saying now's the best time ever in buying a house. If you need to buy a house, buy a house. But it always comes back. And a lot of times that's the vehicle, the only consistent vehicle that will get people to a position where they're gaining sustainable wealth.
Yep.
And I think that's the situation with buying a house. Sometimes you have to overlook, is it the best time? Is it the rates? Like if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. And and if you're like, hey, I'm going in and I'm at 50% debt ratio, probably not the best time to do it. If you can afford it and you know you're going to live in the house for a good period of time and you think you're going to sell it down the road, I don't know. I mean, that's a personal decision, but houses always, people always need shelter.
Yep.
You know, the biggest thing that I see, and it's actually come with technology, but people don't have patience really
Anymore.
No.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
And I think patience is going to be the one thing that pays off in this economy. I think if you can sit tight, hold what you got, and not think that everything has to move at lightning speed, I think everybody will be fine. But I mean, it's when you think you have to do this and do this and do this, jump from A to B to C in a matter of time. It's gonna burn you, I think, in this one.
All right, so we're done here streaming from the live studios in Burbank. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. We're not there. We're in Las Vegas streaming live.
Yep.
You guys check out my channel. You got PROPYLAND. You got the Sound Off. And you have this favorite one here, the French Workbench podcast. If you guys are out there looking for a place to get started on buying a home, love to be a resource for you. Shoot over here real quick. Let me see if I can show you. This is the French Connection here, the Dan French Connection website. So danfrenchconnection.com. Great place to get started. If you guys are looking to get into starting with a real estate agent, come here and fill out your information. I won't harass you. I might call you a couple of times, but I won't harass you. So anyways, that's it. Like the channel, subscribe. You guys have any last words? I also want to say thank you guys, Phil and Chris, for coming on, man. You guys were amazing.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Dude, it's been I want them coming back on, man.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I said, he gave me the best compliment I think I've ever had in
If
my
I
life.
don't get invited back, I'm offended.
No, he's coming. He's coming back. He gave her, like, my own girl doesn't give me that type. No, I'm just But anyways, you got any last words, Doug?
Nope, I'm good. I just give me a call whenever you need to have any questions about homes or home inspections or condition
If you have
of
any
your
ghosts
home.
in the house, you're the Ghostbusters.
I'm not the Ghostbuster. but yeah, you got any questions about your house? Just give me a call because I've.
Esmeralda.
Hey, you guys have a great week.
One last thing though, people, we need to know who's your line of business. Like, why are you like what? Because people need to get pushed to you, right? So, real estate agents, lenders,
Real estate agents, investors.
What separates,
brokers.
other than the fact that it's new now? What separates New Republic Title or Old Republic Title to?
It's the people it's the people you work with. My teams are efficient, they're quick, they're professional. You can get a hold of me as well if you're looking to increase your business and you need new ideas, strategies. Then I'm your girl for farming, marketing, prospecting, social media. Todo aquí.
All right. That's it, guys. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're wrapping this
I'm
show.
not done. No, just kidding.
We're going to wrap this up, but I'm just going to let you guys know. So as we get closer to the holidays, I'm sure that we're all going to be on hiatus for a week or two. Not yet, not next week, but the week after that, we're not going to be around. So, we'd love to have any comments before then. If not, I know Running Altitude say he's not going to see us till next year. No problem. We'll get this thing, started up next year. I know this is the time for everybody to spend time with their family. Merry Christmas out there to people coming up here. That's coming up quick.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year, you guys.
And we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll have a good
All right.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the French Workbench podcast. You can find us here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. to find out all the information on real estate and financing here in Las Vegas. Also, check us out on our LB Home Professionals website. You can find your future home there, a lot of good information, and you can find us on audio-only options through SoundCloud